Good day, everybody.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to episode 14 of the Good Day podcast. Thank you for joining us again, and you find us in Perth.
Yay, Western Australia.
We made it to one of the most remote cities in the whole world.
Yeah, Kory once looked up if you put a pin through Branford and stuck it all the way through that round globe that we live on, where would it come out? And it comes out right outside Perth, Australia in the water.
Yes, so for our listeners in Branford, we couldn't be further away from you.
Miss you guys. Feels like you're with us. But we want to wish you a happy mate day.
Happy mate. May the 8th be with you.
You're all our mates because today is May 8th.
A lot of people think today should be Australia Day because it's mate day.
Just that one guy we met in Manly on Australia Day. But he didn't even think that we should change Australia Day. He said if we change it, it should be May 8th.
Yeah, and we find ourselves in this beautiful townhouse just south of Perth in a little town called Coogee.
Port Coogee. Well, I think there is a Coogee right here.
Yeah, and we were lucky to get this place last minute.
Yeah, we'll tell you more about that later.
Yeah.
But we want to pick up on where we left off. We let you guys know that Coogee, our little white dog, was very afraid of us. And come to find out, he's only afraid of one thing more than us.
Thunder and lightning.
Yes. So we woke up in the middle of a storm, literally like the next morning after we recorded that podcast.
Yeah.
And he was all over us. He wanted all the cuddles. He was so scared. It was sad, but sweet.
He wouldn't leave us alone all day because it was just the morning was like stormy, and he just like broke his like internal battle that he had against us. And now he loves us, or he loved us. And when we were leaving, that's it. Oh, he was showing his love for us. He was like,
yeah, we thought that he was going to go back to growling at us when his parents came home, but we'll get there. So I just want to backtrack on one thing from the last podcast. We talked about walking down that 2-kilometer pier in Busselton, and I remembered that as Kory and I were walking down, this couple who we had just passed started fighting with each other, and we were like kind of listening in, but I couldn't really hear what they were fighting about. And then Kory was like, they're fighting about our Crocs.
Yeah, they were just like, I overheard like the girl saying, yeah, the Crocs. I didn't hear her say Crocs.
She was yelling like, I thought you were on the same team as me. I thought you had the same opinion.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
They're convenient and nice and comfortable, and they work well.
Yeah, and she was like actually
angry. She was
angry.
pro Croc, yeah.
She was like genuinely angry, and I thought that they were in a real fight until Kory told me what they were discussing.
They were talking about our Crocs because we were both wearing ours.
I guess the guy wasn't a fan.
No, not a fan, but we were repping no matter what.
Fan.
Yeah, she was a fan, and
she a fan.
We were just a little too far ahead of them for me to like whip my head back and say, "You talking about my Crocs?"
Yeah. That's why I couldn't hear them because we got so far ahead.
Yeah, but Busselton was a really nice place, and I'm glad we're up here now. But
yeah,
you had some grocery store ideas.
I just wanted to put it on the record that like America's pretty cool. We take a lot of things for granted, but like Australia has everything. It's like a different type of America, but their grocery stores, I swear, they have they have multiple main chains, but I would say like the top two are Coles and Woolworths.
Yep.
Also known as Woolies.
Right now, a little bit of Australian politics. I think the government of Australia is looking into price gouging by these two companies because they have a monopoly on the food market. Wow. That was your Australian political news of the day.
I didn't even know that. But did you tell me that?
No, I didn't tell you that.
Okay.
I don't know. I saw a Friendly Jordy's video about it.
Okay, I thought it was one of those things where you were going to say, I told you just didn't listen. But no, so we can go to a Coles in one town and we can go to a Coles in the next town. And like we might walk in and like there's just no bread in this one area of one aisle. Or one section of the aisle rather. And we're like, this is really wiped out at like 4 p.m. And then like in the next town over, like their Coles will have like all the breads, all the gluten-free bread options, like pizza crusts that are gluten-free, like things you've never seen before in the past like 3 months at every Kohl's you've gone to. Like they just have really different stock in each grocery store. And I feel like in the US, you go to any grocery store and you have like very consistent stock of everything. And I don't think it's like because they have a lack of anything. I just think it's
there's
just very
someone
weird.
working all the time and they make sure like all the things are always in.
Maybe,
it seems like in these places there's like a one restock, or like maybe they restock like once in the morning and once at night, something like that. Because there'll be times where we go, like bread is such a good example, because sometimes they have like the bakery is filled with bread, and then another time there's like just tiger rolls. I don't even know what those are, but they look like a tiger.
Yeah. And like, I'm not just talking just bread. Like you'll look around and you'll see like, oh, all the bacon's sold out. It's weird. But then you go next door and it's loaded, overstocked. Yeah. So that was just a thought I wanted to put on the record for no reason. Mm-hmm. Kory had us go to this town called Nannup, so he could go to this mountain biking place. So
I pride myself on, well, I think I've gotten better over at the years. When Marshall and I did a road trip back in like, I don't know, when did we go in Lance cross country? Summer
2020?
Summer 2020. Like sometimes we'd be hit or miss on like the quality of trails that we would pick. And that's kind of has to do with like looking at a map and seeing what the trails look like. I've gotten so much better at knowing what good trails look like and what bad trails look like. I just saw this trail network on the map and it said, that is a good trail network. And so I was like, yeah, I want to go ride there over like the place we've been riding. It was the best riding I've done in all of Australia. And when I was riding, I was like, this is like a top 5 trail network I've ever ridden. But like after like the high of coming down a little bit, I think it was a top 10, and it was phenomenal. Just really good dirt, really good trail system, well built, a good healthy mix of like machine built trails with a lot of natural sections, and it was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. I wish we could go back there, but I didn't get a chance to go again. But we're only 2 hours away. Maybe I'll sneak out one of these days.
The town was obsessed with the Nannup tiger, which I think is just the Tasmanian tiger, and they're just calling it the Nannup tiger because after it was extinct, someone reportedly saw one in this town. So the town is obsessed. All their stores are called like the Nannup Tiger, the Tiger Gallery, Tiger Cafe. They have all these statues around town of this like Tasmanian tiger, but they're not saying Tasmanian tiger. I feel a little bit partial to the name Tasmanian tiger.
Sounds better than the Nannup tiger.
And we lived there for 5 weeks, and that's where I like learned about it.
Yeah. And all the trails were also based off the name tiger. They were like Easy Tiger, or like there was one, since the Tasmanian tiger is thylacine, which is basically a carnivore marsupial. It's like a kangaroo, dog, and zebra mixed. That's what a thylacine is. And
they became extinct when the dingo came about.
Yeah, there's a trail called flylacine. I think that's what my definition of...
flylacine?
Yeah, flylacine, like you're flying in the air, because there was a bunch of jumps. Yeah. But creative. Everything tiger-based, and I would go back to the little town. And it was definitely just a marketing scheme for this town to blow up, because it was a cute little town that...
Yeah, I walked around it when Kory biked, and I had fun. I went to like 3 or 4 art galleries, way too many. It was a small town with so many art galleries and some cute little shops, so that was fun. Got some handmade dairy-free chocolate.
That was delicious.
Kory ate most of it. Yeah.
It was fun,
dropped off some postcards. Well, got the stamps there. So if you get a postcard in 3 weeks, let us know.
Yeah, and you got some coffee there. And we were checking out some other coffee shops around town, around Bustleton, when we were back there. And I saw one on, also, side note, Google Maps is better than Apple Maps at some things.
At knowing what's an open functioning business.
Definitely,
Or something that doesn't exist anymore. They won't say it's a business.
Apple Maps is just like lost. Like it's not updated. It doesn't give good like pictures. If you want to check out the pictures, you got to go to like Yelp or something. But for this this place we were looking at was called the Bean Chapel. I was like, oh, that's a cool name. And then we looked at the pictures, and it was like an old church converted into a coffee shop.
And so we arrived there, and the exterior is straight up a chapel, like a real old chapel, and like with businesses on the side and whatnot. And I was like, is this kind of like sacrilegious to like be walking into this chapel to get a coffee?
Yeah.
And Kory was like, I don't know. We walk in, and something way more disrespectful than coffee inside an old chapel we saw.
It transferred right into a mall. Like
the first thing you see when you walk in is the Kohl's sign, because all their grocery stores are in like little shopping malls. So that Kohl's grocery store I talked about earlier, that was like what you see through the big open front of the cafe. The chapel.
And obviously, they don't show that on Google Maps.
Yeah.
They just show like the good part of it.
They built the shopping center into this old chapel.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. We were like, what? How could they even do such a thing like this? This is crazy.
I was going to let the coffee shop slide, but not the Kohl's in the chapel.
Yeah, sacrilegious.
With the coffee shop. But I did get new sneakers, so that's exciting.
So Maxie has a battle with her shoes. Every single pair of shoes gives her blisters. In weird spots, too. Like, normally if I get blisters on my feet, I haven't gotten blisters in ages. But they're like either on my heels or like the side near my big toe. I don't know what, like if someone had a bunion, that's where I would get a blister. Shout out my.
Kory.
But Maxie gets weird blisters like in between her toes and like.
Thanks. Everyone's so happy to hear about this.
On the arches of her feet. Like I've never heard of blisters like this. So we went on a mission to get her new shoes.
Yeah. I think it could be because I have a broken toe, and I think my weight is like disproportionate on both feet. So I think I might put more weight on my right foot. I don't know. But yeah, my right foot was all messed up.
Yeah, but it's just kind of, we did some shopping around, new shoe shopping, new boot goofing.
Got some blue ones. Didn't try them on the first time. Went back to get one of the two pairs that I liked the first time at Anaconda. Ended up with a new pair that we didn't know existed. So
also,
I
saw like while I was basically a shoe salesman for Maxie, going to get her all these new shoes and stuff. And while I was doing that, I saw a pair of socks that were like gloves, toe socks for individual toes.
I think
did we talk about
last
it?
time, yeah.
Yeah, those are going to work wonders, I'm telling you.
I like them. And so we went on a little 5K to test them out, and we walked to watch other people working out at a triathlon.
Yeah. So they had the Bustleton 100, which I think is a half Ironman or a little bit less than half Ironman. And it was just right in our backyard. Like we walked out the door and we saw people. Well, we woke up in the morning and we're like, people are biking out there.
Yeah.
And
the road was closed.
Yeah, so we drove down a little ways and then went to the farmer's market and the whole triathlon. There was hundreds of people out.
So many dogs. Saw the biggest mastiff.
Oh, and you got to give him a pat.
Yeah, the guy corrected me and told me that it was a girl, but she was massive. I want one, but I think that a dog that big is probably just a big inconvenience.
Yeah, I don't know. Mastiffs don't really do it for me.
But she was beautiful.
Yeah.
Her smushy face.
She was pretty smushy.
Doesn't do it for Kory, though.
No.
But we did buy coffee at the farmer's market next to the triathlon out of some man's truck bed.
Oh, I want to do this so bad.
Like, we weren't buying coffee out of a truck, like a food truck. It was
just like a normal pickup truck. In
his truck bed, he had a coffee maker.
Oh, he had the best setup. He had an espresso machine. So a lot of people, I don't know, it's not really that common in the States to have this almost truck bed cap on the back, but like all four, it's a really utility vehicle where like.
They call it a ute.
Yeah.
Utility vehicle.
So like all four sides or all three sides of the back of the truck bed have compartments and you can access all of them and there's like storage in there. So the guy had espresso machine, like a frother, and he had like beans and cups and everything. And it was just the perfect mobile coffee truck setup. I kind of want to do that and just like toss it in Stony Creek, have someone run it. That'd be a $1 billion business right there.
Yeah.
People buying coffee out of the back of a truck. Also write off.
So that was cool. Maybe you'll see us in Branford with our coffee ute.
And lots of exploring around too. Like Coogee was a good dog where you could kind of just leave him all day and just like he would be fine.
The doggy doors are wonderful.
Doggy doors, I never really liked them, but I'm coming around to them. They're so nice. If you have like a closed-in backyard or whatever, they like work wonders. Like the dog just goes out whenever he wants and just like
he
plays
never
with
let
himself.
us walk him once.
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing. He just like was so scared of us. And even like when we were cuddling with him, I tried to put on the leash and he was just like, "No, I'm not having it, homie."
Yeah.
And just would run away.
Old habits die hard. But we did check out Cape Naturaliste and Cape Leeuwin, which Cape Naturaliste is at the top of this little southwest area of Western Australia, and Cape Leeuwin is at the bottom. It's the most southwesterly point of Australia. And you could walk, technically you could walk from Cape to Cape. It's called the Cape to Cape walk.
We saw a tour doing it, and it didn't look like they were under any sort of stress of like long distance hiking. So I think what they were doing was like walk a section and then a bus would take them to a hotel.
Yeah, we saw them with the bus.
Yeah.
But we did not do the long walk because we had a dog to take care of. I think it takes multiple days.
Cape Naturaliste was cool. The lighthouse wasn't as good as the other one, I don't think.
Well, we didn't really look at that lighthouse.
Yeah. And the other one is called Cape Leeuwin. And did we go down there the next day? Or when did we go to which one?
There was a few days between. But Cape Leeuwin had the tallest lighthouse on mainland Australia, number 3rd tallest in all of Australia. The first two are on like islands off of places.
Well, Tasmania has one, right?
Tasmania has the tallest one off of King Island, which is a island that's hard to get to that has no cars. So
yeah, it would have been cool to go there.
And then so we got to climb to the top of the lighthouse. We bought just like entry tickets to go see. We weren't even going for the lighthouse. We were going because this is the point where the Indian Ocean meets the southern, also known as Antarctic Ocean.
Yeah.
So these two great oceans are coming together at this one point, all the waves crashing and whatnot. That's what we were coming to look at. And we had to buy like a $7 ticket to get in.
Just to like walk around the grounds. There's like a little museum there that gives the history of like the lighthouse and the light and how it's all different.
Yeah, or you could pay like $30 and go to the top of the lighthouse, which we had no interest in doing. But the guy working the admissions counter loved us so much.
Yeah.
He loved talking about how we were American and whatnot, and he was joking around with us and talking to us. And then we
were chatting him up.
We were chatting with him. We were like, all right, bye. We're going to go check this place out. And then we walk all the way down, and he ends up behind us. And he's like, hey, I'm going to sneak you guys into my tour up to the top of the lighthouse. Don't tell anyone that you didn't pay for it. So we got to go to the top of the lighthouse for free.
It was cool, and it was hard to understand the dude because he was like
very Australian,
and he would make like jokes and stuff, and
honestly, I just don't understand how lighthouses work. So like if he's casually explaining it with his accent,
you know how lighthouses work.
Well, like a very simple level, yeah, but when he's talking about Mercury and
so this lighthouse was one of 2 lighthouses in Australia, one of 3 in the world that suspended the lens of the light. So in the middle, you have your light source, and then a lighthouse rotates. So it like if there was just one static light, you wouldn't be able to tell where it is. So the light rotates around, and that's the lens. The lens is floated in mercury because it's like a really heavy thing, and you don't need much. The density of mercury is so high, you don't need much of it to be able to float something in it. So you could float something really heavy like this massive lens that they...
I think it weighed like 7,000 pounds.
I think
or it does weigh that.
It was a lot. Yeah,
it said like 3.5 tons.
Yeah, it was really heavy.
So 7,000, right?
And this lighthouse, like all lighthouses, have different types of rays of light that you can see and different periods where you can see the light. So this one had it, so just you can tell which lighthouse is which. But this area looked insane. Like by the chart of it, it was just deadly. And they said, I forget for the time being, but for every kilometer of this cape, there was like 30 kilometers around the cape, there was 30 shipwrecks in like before the lighthouse was built or something like that. So it was a super deadly area. And then they're like, all right, let's toss up a lighthouse.
Yeah. And I learned a lot of this in the little museum afterwards. And I was like, oh, that's what the guy was saying.
Yeah.
Didn't understand his accent. But yeah, it was wonderful. And the guy was nice.
Yeah, he was a good old guy. We definitely made friends with him. And
We're the
happy.
youngest people on the tour for sure.
Yeah.
Beat them up the stairs and down the stairs.
Yeah, when we were coming down, he told some other guys in front of us. He's like, oh, you might want to let these guys go by. They're pretty quick.
Yeah.
Talking about us. And
we smoked them.
yeah, I think a lot of, one question that we've had on this, we were talking about the other week, that like no one asks us if it's our honeymoon. And we don't know why. Because
when we were on our honeymoon, everyone asked us if it was our honeymoon. And we're like, I don't know. Why aren't people asking us? We're traveling everywhere, like carefree. It's just funny that people like knew it was our honeymoon when it was our honeymoon. And we tried to understand why. But then after this tour, a woman came up to us and she was like, is it your honeymoon?
Yeah, I was the first person who asked us.
And I bursted out laughing, well, just like a giggle. And she probably thought I was so rude, but it was just because, like,
we were waiting for someone to ask us.
Yeah. And Kory probably made us sound extra rude because he was like, no, our honeymoon was in Thailand.
Yeah, I don't want to, like, after that, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. That was really weird to say. But it was just so funny because we were thinking about this, like, no one asked us this, and then boom, someone asked us this.
But my theory is that our honeymoon, our travel agent booked us on a ton of tours, and a lot of the times you are the youngest couple on the tour.
Yeah.
Because a lot of older people sign up for tours and a lot of younger people like us will just wing the traveling and go see things without the tour. And so here we ended up on a tour, even though we didn't choose to be on the tour. And again, we're the youngest people on the tour. And she's like, oh, honeymoon.
Yeah, I think you're totally right in that. There's like, if you do tours with older people, they're like, oh, look at those young people. I wonder what they're doing. Why they're down here. They're American. Why are they all the way down here?
Yeah, so that was funny. And then on the way up from Augusta.
Yeah, Augusta,
that's
the most southwest point.
Yeah, that's where Cape Leeuwin is. And we stopped by Hamelin Bay because they say that you could see stingrays there most days. We did not see any stingrays.
Didn't see stingrays, but we saw a big old lizard. It was a blue-tongued skink. It was like probably 12 inches long, a foot.
Yeah, at least. It was pretty.
It was thick, though.
Guys, it was cute.
Yeah, Maxie might be a lizard lady now.
No, I'm not. I will never be, but I can't believe I'm saying that. But it was kind of cute. I think because it was super slow moving and did not feel like it wanted to interact with us at all.
Yeah, next time we might see a big old snake and Max would be like,
stop.
Those are like, I kind of like those guys.
Stop.
No, we won't.
But it was funny. We were walking on this like very arid pathway trail above a beach at Hamelin Bay. And it was white sand, blue water, shallow water, islands out
Just
on the
looking
water.
at the sights.
Very white, dry, pointy, coral-ish rocks everywhere. And we're like hiking above the beach just to like get a good view. And it was a trail. And then Kory was like, oh my God. And he jumped and like pulled me back. And I was like, oh my God, what? And I was doing the zoomies with my feet. And then I realized it was just this fat lizard thing that was just hanging out.
Oh, it was thick though. So I was like, you just get startled to see something sometimes.
It was definitely scary if you didn't see it and you just like saw it next to you.
Yeah.
I was probably scared.
I liked it. We got some good clips of that guy. And he stuck his blue tongue out a couple times and then kind of just waddled off the trail.
He was very non-threatening, so that was good.
Yeah, after that, I mean, that was such a nice beach. It's incredible how many nice beaches they have here that are just like, oh yeah, there's 3 people here and it's pretty chill and everyone's swimming and
yeah, one family at the beach and then like a couple nudists.
Oh yeah, there's I don't know. I also saw a caravan park on our wiki camps that was like, welcome nudist colony. So that was like a Seinfeld episode, The Nudist.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and the nudists always take the best, most prettiest parts of the beach. Like you walk down and you're trying to explore and you're trying to see the natural rocks and caves and whatever.
And they're just tucked away
then
in the
you
corner.
get hit in the face with someone's private parts that you didn't want to see.
Yeah, that's no fun.
But on the way up, we've been really lucky lately.
Yeah, we've been getting some good luck.
Don't want to toot our own horn, but things are falling into place. And Kory's been looking for a bike rack.
Guys, this bike is a dilemma.
I want to rip my hair out. Like, he's like, I have to spend $1,500 on a bike rack that works. And I'm like, no, just send your bike home or something if you're going to pay that. And which is also going to be like $1,000. So it's like this huge dilemma. Because it's taking up all the space in our car.
So here's the deal, guys. I wanted a bike rack that would work with the car. Our car has a rear swing door, so it doesn't open like a normal trunk door. It opens like a regular door. There's like a few like adapters on the market that allow a bike rack to swing open like that, and they're so expensive. And I was like, I don't know, we'll figure it out. It's just been such a hassle. But Maxie then was like, why don't you just get a normal bike rack and we'll have to take the bike off every time we want to access the rear door. A little bit of a hassle, but like not really. At
least we wouldn't have to spend like over $1,000.
True. Yeah.
Which like is already too much when you've spent so much to get your bike down here. And I gave Kory his travel bike bag for Christmas, which was not cheap, but just like to be spending even more money to have his bike.
Yeah, it's just getting
annoying.
Yeah, exactly. So she was just like, why don't you just get a normal bike rack? And I was like, yeah, all right. There's a lot of bike racks out there that are like just wastes of space and have like, I wanted one that was just a single bike rack and you could open the door when the bike is off and it was like really easy. We go into one bike shop and they're like, oh, yeah, we don't really have that many, but we do have this one.
No, he said, I have one. And he was like, it only fits one bike, though.
And I was like, that's what I'm looking for. And literally,
it's a cradle.
Exact bike rack. I was like, all right, this has to be the one that's like cheap, that is made by a good company and holds one bike and is out of the way and you can open your door and is durable. So boom, it worked out so well. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a cradle system, which I guess like that's what Kory was looking for. But the guy thought like, oh, like they're not going to want it. It's a cradle. Because I don't know what kind of car he expected us to have. But Kory was like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Kory was like, I'll take it right there. They only had the showroom model.
Yeah.
The guy had to take it off like.
And he gave us a discount too.
Yeah, because it didn't come in a box. And Kory put it right on the car.
Perfect. It worked.
It was exactly what he needed for a very affordable price.
Yeah. So that worked out really well for us. And then another thing that worked out well for us was I've been a little worried about the tires on the car. They're just like old and the rear tires have way more wear than the front tires. So I'm like, I don't know, like, are we going to have to get 4 new tires? Are we going to have to get 2 new tires? Like, what's the whole deal with this? And so we just go to I think it was, Michelin or
something.
Bridgestone, something, yeah. One of those tire stores. And we're just like, yeah, can we get an opinion? And he was like, oh, yeah, you're good. You actually, like, I'd love to sell you tires, but you got another 5,000 Ks on them. You could keep going. And you could just get 2 new tires. You don't need to get 4 new tires. Your spare tire looks great. You're fine.
Yeah, and Kory kept pressing him, and he was like, but, like, the back ones are, like, a little bit more worn. And he was like, he just kept, like,
saying yeah, you're fine. He's like, I'd love to sell you tires, but you're pretty good.
Yeah, so.
That was really, like, reassuring
wonderful
to hear. And so I think eventually I still want to get new tires, especially if I don't know, maybe not. Maybe if we get to like Darwin, we'll be like, oh, toss some new fresh rubber on there.
That's a future us problem.
Yeah, exactly. We still need to get a bull bar, which we're going to go look at tomorrow. You heard it here first. Tomorrow, we're going to
honestly, we better.
Yeah, we need to do that. I see this note here, Maxie. Kory versus the dishwasher. What does that mean?
Kory asked me while he was doing dishes, what do you think works better, me doing the dishes or the dishwasher doing the dishes? And I said the dishwasher. And I stand behind that.
So here's my thought process, guys. If I am physically cleaning each dish with soap and my own strength washing it, then either drying it myself or just letting it air dry, how in the world could a dishwasher do as much work as I do per dish? There's no way it takes all that care and effort into each dish as I have.
The dishwasher be hustling.
The dishwasher does run for like 5 hours.
Yes.
I do the dishes in like 20 minutes.
I don't know if like the mug that you cleaned already had a stain on it, but there was like a coffee stain ring, one of like their mugs. And
that was because
maybe it was already like that.
No, that was because you left your like tea bag in there for like 15 days.
No, that's not. We do the dishes every day.
I remember this one.
Oh, you mean our mugs?
No, not our mugs. It wasn't 15 days. It was like 3 days.
There's no way I left a tea bag for 3 days.
Yeah, you did.
We'd go around and pick up all the dishes like every single day. If I brought it like a teacup to the couch. I just don't believe that. Okay, so guys, it's my fault that Kory's not good at doing the dishes.
All right, no, the dishwasher probably missed that one.
No, it was from the drying rack. But
got me there.
I just don't think you put like the same love and attention into the dishes as the dishwasher does when it has one job.
But I'm better than the dishwasher, quicker too.
You're definitely quicker.
Definitely quicker.
And something else about Kory, you guys might not recognize him by the time we're back because he has like a very catchy vocabulary, I guess. Like he catches on to their lingo down here so easily. Yeah. And like much more easily than me. So he like picks up all their sayings and their quirks. And
is that right, mate?
Righto. And when we were cleaning up the house yesterday, leaving our Coogie's house, he said to me, the milk in there has gone off. So do you think we should throw it out or leave it in there? It was the homeowner's milk, and he was trying to tell me that their milk went bad, and he told me it went off. Yeah. It has gone off.
That's what they say here.
They do say that here, and I asked you, I said, what? Because I actually didn't know what he said, and he repeated it, and I just could not believe that you said that phrase. Like, he catches on to, like, the more fun ones, but that one is just, like, very British, Australian sounding.
You know what that makes me think of? I saw a funny reel the other day, verbal reel here, guys. It said couples after they get in, or married couples after they get into an argument, they just say, they don't apologize. They just say some stupid stuff to just get talking again. And it was like, husband, have you seen the refrigerator? Is it in the kitchen?
Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, that was it.
Have you seen the fridge?
Have you ever seen the refrigerator? Is it still in the kitchen?
I couldn't understand you the first time because you were laughing.
Oh, it was a good one. It was a classic one. I was
trying to read your lips when you were laughing and saying it, but our listeners don't have that privilege.
No. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll have a mullet and a mustache by the time I get back to the States.
Our guest, who's arriving in just a few days, requested that Kory get a mullet with him and grow a mustache so that
He also requested you to do your best to grow your mustache.
I'm working on it. Honestly, I'm not far off. But Kory has his mustache. sitting on his lip loud and proud.
It's a little weak right now.
He has not got his mullet yet. I don't know if he's waiting for Marshall to arrive and they're going to get their haircuts together.
What do they say? Party in the back, business in the front. I think my hair is the opposite.
No, it's a business in the front, party in the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, yours is the opposite. Yours is party in the front because your hair grows upwards and forwards.
Oh, guys, the hair. I think I'm just going to grow it out. Hurt it here now.
His hair just grows vertical. It's so funny.
So
he still looks great.
Yeah, thanks.
No, you do.
We had the best time, or actually we had the best hosts for our last dog sitting job. Like we knew that when we were leaving, or when we got there, just because they were so nice and they gave us stuff. And
we told them the wine, the candies, the fancy nougat sampler, the bowl of chocolates, the steak and milks and eggs and bacon and money.
Everything, yeah. So they really hooked us up. And like this was actually the first sit where we were going to stay to greet them after they got home from like their trip. Like usually we just leave and like give them the homeowner space to come back in and then just relax and just like leave an hour or two before they get there. And
because like in the US, usually a dog sitting job would be transactional, and this is like this was our first one where they gave us money, but so most of them are for free, and so it's awkward to like kind of hand off the house face to face. Like usually you do that to collect your money, so usually we leave.
But these guys came home from, where did they go? Phuket?
Yeah, they got back at 9 a.m.
And they came back with like a whole gift basket for us, basically.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
So Maxie got a brand new Gucci, most likely fake, shirt.
No, I mean definitely fake. She didn't buy me a Gucci t-shirt.
But made in Thailand, that's where all the stuff is made.
She's so cute. She's like, I got you this shirt. And it's the softest black t-shirt that has like rhinestones on it and says Gucci. And then she gave Kory this
Air Jordan singlet that are like cut off basically, and she was like, "Oh, this will work for you." I don't even know if she knew I played basketball, but she's like, "This'll be good. You'll love this up in Monkey
cute.
Maya." Yeah.
Did she say that?
I think so. Yeah.
She's so cute. Like, why did she buy us these random t-shirts? I don't know. And then she was like, "And here's something else," and she gave us. Some of you may know Asia has all these amazing oils and ointments, and especially Thailand. And she got us this Thai ointment for bug bites that smells like citronella, and it was just so cute.
Yeah, it was adorable. And then the dog was being so nice to us.
Oh my gosh, we were betting on if the dog was gonna growl and go. Because he did, like, at some moments, even after he decided to love us, he would, like, randomly give us, a scared growl for no reason. Or he'd flinch really hard if we got up fast. But overall, he loved us and, like, would cuddle us. But we're like, I kept saying, I feel like this dog is going to turn on us when his parents get home and he's going to, like, do the scared growl again. But no, I was completely incorrect. He actually loved us even more when his parents were home. I think he was just happy that they were still alive.
He was so happy to see them.
And he kept jumping up on me and trying to get me to pet him in front of them and Kory. And she was like, the mom was getting jealous. And she was like, look at this traitor. Oh my God. And almost like she was annoyed that her dog that hates everybody loved us.
Yeah.
But it was just funny, and I was so happy that he showed us so much love when they arrived.
I felt like he did a good job of saying like, oh, you guys did a good job.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see. And then while we were talking to them, I was like, literally, so 20 minutes before they got back, we didn't really have any plans after this sit. We know we wanted to do a couple things in Perth and see some stuff, but we had no sits lined up. So I was just like sitting around helping clean, and I see we have our app set, so we have specific dates in there, and we saw an ad come up for a new sit. And literally, it was the perfect dates, and we're in this house now, and
It might be the nicest location we've had yet.
Might be the nicest location, I think.
Do we think?
Yeah. I mean,
it's
Kingston,
physically on the marina.
Yeah, the Tassie Kingston Beach one was really nice.
That was nice.
I think that one might be my favorite location.
We've been looking out with some really nice houses because there's regular, like...
houses out there, farmhouses.
Yeah, there's a lot of regular houses. We've been getting a lot of stellar houses.
I know. And
just by chance.
And I just applied in like a minute, first application. 10 minutes later, she accepted us.
Seriously. And didn't
so
even
quick.
ask to call us or anything.
So it just worked magically. It was so nice. And these guys are like in the social media influencer game. So if we sound better, we're on like actual microphones right now.
Yeah, just for this episode.
Yeah. So
hopefully we sound really good.
Yeah, and hopefully that
they have podcasts.
When we go back to our old mic, we're like, we don't lose followers because the quality isn't as good.
But I love these people. They're so nice.
He was also a Bigfoot fan, Brett.
Yes, he was all into the conspiracies. Like
loved it, yeah.
Bigfoot and ancient civilizations and all those things.
Yeah, but we actually had to, accepting this job, we had to move our Rottnest Island, something that's been, I think Maxie's...
booked it. Oh, what? Sorry.
This has got to be your number one all of Australia thing you want to do, right?
No.
No?
I mean, it's up there for sure, but that's like a strong statement.
What's number one?
It might be this.
Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about.
But like Wineglass Bay was up there.
Wineglass Bay was up
there.
Lucky Bay.
Yeah, Esperance. But Rottnest Island... potentially is number one. I guess you are correct. We booked a 2-night stay hours before the sit popped up, like the night before, late on the night before. And because we only plan things last minute.
That's how we roll.
And that, because everything works out like this. So luckily, we were able to get our full refund.
Money.
And we're going to rebook it when Marshall is here.
Yeah.
Because we have to go to Rottnest Island. We're going.
Mm-hmm.
But the universe just worked it out where we got this awesome dog sit and we just moved around the dates and
it's perfect. Everything worked out so well.
On our way up to Perth, though, we saw the end of a rainbow.
So usually like rainbows, they happen at like sunset, sunrise, just after the showers. And that's what creates the nice like angle, the rain going or the sun rays going through the rainbow and creating the light spectrum. But this was like a midday, like high noon rainbow. So it was the most shallow, like the arc was basically a flat line and we just like drove next to it. I don't know. It was the weirdest angle sun through the rays of light. And it was just like the rainbow was like right next to us.
It ended like right next to the road in someone's
like it's right
field.
there, yeah.
It was so close.
Yeah, so we got to the end of the rainbow, so shout out Skittles.
I think it's the abundance juice, guys. It's working.
It's working. It's got to be.
But when we got to Perth, all we had to do was fill one day with a caravan park. And Kory had been researching the caravan parks in Perth, and he's like, they're so bad. They're so bad. They're so bad. Like these city caravan parks. He doesn't tell me that there's like this one really good one. So we go there.
It was called the Caringup Water Resort.
Yeah, it has 3 pools, a restaurant, which is like open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It has a bar. It has marble on their welcome.
Has in-suite
reception
bathrooms.
Desk. Yeah, in-suite bathrooms. Marble in their bathrooms. It's probably fake marble.
It is.
But it looks like quality. It's not like the plasticky fake marble. And their camp kitchen was all like the marble. So it was right on a pond with all these ducks and a ton of jumping pillows, guys.
Yeah, jumping pillows were there. And we got to, like, when we were checking in, it was a different check-in process. They didn't give you, like, the exact spot. They were like, oh, go talk to the guy. And
go talk to old mate.
Yeah, go talk to old mate, and he'll hook you up with a spot. And so he was like, do you want to be close to the kitchen? Do you want to be close to this? And I was like, just wherever. It doesn't matter. Whatever he thinks best. Puts us in the best spot right on the lake, right next to the bathrooms, next to a couple park benches.
I was dreading going back to camping after living in a nice house, and this made me forget all my worries. I was like, this place is wonderful. I read the reviews after I had arrived, and a lot of people stay there long term, like for a month. I would totally stay there for a month. It was amazing.
It was really nice, yeah.
Like so comfortable. And I don't know if we just got lucky, but it was the most quiet caravan park ever. Like when we were going to bed from like 7 p.m. on, didn't hear a peep. Heard a few outbursts from
the ducks landing in the lake. It sounded
the ducks.
Oh my God, it sounded like Pearl Harbor out there.
And the people next to us like had a few like quick little outbursts around like 8 p.m. But
I was sound asleep.
Yeah. It was so quiet. It was like almost weird. You couldn't even hear people like walking.
Yeah, and I was sound asleep because
it was full. The place was full.
Yeah, the place was
They
packed.
almost didn't give us a spot.
At dinner the night before, I had the meat lovers pizza, and it just put me right to sleep. Like, I don't know.
Wait, did you just say that it sounded like Pearl Harbor in the lake behind us?
Yeah, it did. There was the like dive bombing and everything.
Yikes. But sorry, keep going about the meat lovers pizza.
I was just, the thing put me to sleep. We got dinner at like pretty early. It was like sunset, so it was like 6:30. By 7:30 when we were walking back to our caravan park, I was like, I gotta go lie down. This thing just knocked me out cold. I don't know what they put in that, but I was out.
At dinner, Kory goes, this meat lovers pizza is making me so tired. I could go to bed right here.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
And then he goes, I don't even think I'm going to shower anymore. I'm that tired. And I thought he was kidding, but I went ahead and showered and he went to bed.
I was just out, and then I felt like Gabe. Gabe's sleep schedule sometimes is like, I don't know, he's told us before, it's like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. He gets a full 12 hours every night. He loves it. And that's how I slept, 12 hours straight.
Yeah. But I was kind of annoyed because Kory said that we go watch an episode of Below Deck on his laptop, and he got it all set up. And we did not watch an episode because he was asleep.
Sound asleep.
But we did get to lay. Maybe you had too much sun too, because we laid out on these amazing day beds, like as if you were at a resort, like a real hotel with, like, I don't know if I've ever laid on such a nice day bed, which is so embarrassing to say because this is a caravan park. They had them lining the whole pool.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
These massive, like, queen size day beds, king size maybe.
Yeah, and the weather was so nice, and it was just such a great, like, entry into Perth. Like, that's our first taste of Perth, and we really loved it so far. Like, we're like, oh, do we want to go to the East Coast again?
Yeah.
Or, like...
Can't beat the blue water, white beaches.
Yeah, and today we did a lot of exploring around Perth. We went to Trig Beach.
Well, that was... Like yesterday when we arrived at the caravan park, we went out to lunch in Trig.
Yeah. And
that was a beautiful beach. We watched a bunch of people learning how to surf.
Surfers, yeah.
Lots of people falling off their surfboards. So that was entertaining. And then
Perth
we went
is
to
like
Scarborough.
Chill, yeah. Scarborough Beach. Did we do that today or yesterday?
Yesterday. Today we went to Cotslow, South Beach in Fremantle, and the Coogee Marina.
Yeah. And it seems like driving around these cities in Australia, they're just so different to the States. Because in the States, like, you have your city, then you have, like, your highway going around the city, that one highway that goes through the city, and there's nothing, like, around. There's no, like, I mean, there's suburbs, but there's, like, suburbs that aren't butted up to the city. Like here, just the suburbs have no distance between the city. It goes like city, suburb, and then it's all mixed in between. I think Australia likes to have like their little bit of land. They don't really like apartments or anything like that.
Yeah, like every family wants to have a yard and like their own little house. So they're not big on high rises.
Yeah, and just the development of these cities aren't well done. Like,
well, I like it because like think Miami on the beach, you're living in a high rise on the beach.
Yeah, that is true.
And like here, you could live in a beautiful house along the beach, and like there's so many beaches in Perth, so many neighborhoods to live in houses around. I like it better. I know it does feel weird that you're like next to the high rises in the city center, and then like you drive a mile and you're next to all these houses.
Yeah, I think it's just I don't like it as a driver. like I would rather, like probably living there would be nice because you have your own stuff. But like as someone driving through the city, I'd rather have a more organized like highway system that if you want to go to downtown, you get off an exit, boom, you're downtown. Not you have to drive through 10 miles of suburbs and then you arrive in the downtown area.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I like the houses here and these cities, and they're very walkable. They have trains and trams and all sorts of fun stuff to get around.
West is best.
West is best.
My brother Weston, actually, he studied abroad in Perth like over 2 decades ago. So I've always been waiting to get to Perth, and it's pretty amazing. It's actually, I had high expectations, and it's better than what I expected.
Yeah, I'm really liking it so much so far as well.
The beaches are just like, they're not just beaches. Like
Free parking at the beaches too.
Free parking at the beaches. Trig had all this coral and like caves of coral, and you could walk around it and walk like under some caves and just like explore.
Yeah,
it was
just
very
a really
interesting.
pretty looking beach too.
Like that's very interesting to have
Lots of
in
sand.
a city on a beach. And then there's like other like more regular straightforward beaches, and then there's like these more snorkel beaches and hippie beaches. So I think there's a lot here.
Yeah, a lot this place offers, and it's so remote. I think Perth is closer to Antarctica than it is any other city in Australia. So like Perth is further away from Darwin and Adelaide and Melbourne than it is close to Antarctica, which is just wild to think about.
Oh, something I wanted to share was like whenever we talked about Perth to our friends in Sydney or anyone we met from New South Wales or over on the East Coast, we'd say like, oh yeah, we're going to head out to Perth. And they would say, oh yeah, like Perth's nice, Perth's quiet. Like, or, oh, I heard Perth is really quiet and slow moving. It's not like Sydney or yada yada, like what you would expect for a very remote big city. And then we got to Bustleton and we asked our hosts, Coogie's parents, we said, oh yeah, we're going to go to Perth after this. What do you think of Perth? And they were like, oh, Perth's busy.
So fast paced up there, yeah.
So it's funny, like just depending on where you live, like you could have a totally different perspective.
Yeah. And I've been getting a ton of reels on just like pro Perth, like people making fun of the rest of Australia who live in Perth and stuff like that. So Instagram knows where I am.
And what was I going to say? Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. Perth is really cool.
Yeah, we like it a lot so far.
Yeah.
We're excited to see more of it in the next couple days.
Wow, I wish I could remember what I was going to say. Something about how Perth is cool.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's about it. We're gonna go through the animals of the week, guys, and I think the number one spot goes to that little doggo, Coogee.
Coogee.
Oh, and we forgot to mention we're sitting for a new dog.
Summer.
Who's
She's on the
like
list.
a something shepherd?
Swiss shepherd?
Swiss shepherd, yeah.
She looks like a big white Pomeranian shepherd.
Yeah, she's got like a sharp pointed nose with very pointy ears.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, I'd say she looks like more of like a greyhound face and then...
long nose.
Yeah.
She's so sweet and she likes us.
We got lunch after we went to Cape Leeuwin Lighthouse, and literally I thought this pelican was going to eat a kid. That's how big it was. It was the biggest pelican I've ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to attack us when I took a picture. No, it was a sweetheart, though. It did not react to me having a photo shoot of it.
Mm-hmm. We saw hundreds of ducks, mallards.
There's other birds, too.
So many birds.
At the campsite.
Yeah, they were our friends.
We saw geckos at Hamelin Bay, too, right after we saw that blue-tongued skink.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of little fat black geckos. They're still small, but they were like thicker than the Miami ones for sure.
Some fishies and the big blue-tongued gecko or skink. I don't. Is it really a skink, the big blue one?
Yeah. So skinks are really small, but if you Google blue-tongued skink,
that's
he's
what
big.
comes up.
Yeah.
Some funny-looking seagulls that had black mullets.
Oh yeah. Yesterday on Trig, we noticed the seagulls here look different. The seagulls in Australia look different than American seagulls. They're smaller and cuter looking, but the ones on Trig had black mullets.
Yeah, it was a sight to see.
I took a video, so I'll post that to the Instagram at GoodDayPod.
Yeah, and that's about all for this week, guys. I think on next episode, we should have a feature because Marshall's coming in 5 days.
We might have a guest for
might
the
have a
next
guest
month.
on the next episode of the Good Day podcast. We haven't had a guest since like episode 3 with Faye, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Wow. Well, thank you all so much for listening. I hope this episode sounded the best.
Yeah. Maybe one day we can afford these mics.
Yeah.
Shout out to Silvana and Brett.
Yeah, hopefully our info isn't recording on your device.
Yeah, hopefully we're not messing up your stuff. Kory insisted we use these mics.
They just sound so good, yeah.
And we love Summer.
Yeah.
Our new dog.
What a good dog.
All right. Love you guys. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Oh, and I want to end with, did you already end it?
No, not yet.
Okay, Silvana has this really nice quote on her desk right here, so I'll read it to you guys. The more I notice what I have, the more that comes to me. Sorry, it was half in shade, half in light. So yeah, the more you focus on what you have and be grateful for what you have, the more good comes to you. And I'll leave you on that note. Have a good day.
Good day, mates.